Hey everybody, welcome to Post to Post. My name is Neil. Thanks for joining me today. We are talking about one of the most anticipated series in NHL history. Not more anticipated than Montreal versus Toronto because, we've been waiting 40 plus years for that. But this series is definitely up there. Tampa Bay versus the Florida Panthers. I mean, it's the battle of the state of Florida. It is remarkable that this is actually happening. I don't love either team, but I am just so genuinely excited as a hockey fan to watch this series. It is so needed. It is so needed for the Florida Panthers for this to become an actual legitimately watched rivalry for their fan base, for the state of Florida. And I think it's tremendous for the game of hockey. So we're going to break down this series. I'm going to talk about some factors from each team. We're going to compare some statistics. I'm going to give you my personal take on who I think is going to win the series and in how many games. And you guys can give me your opinions at the end of the video down below in the comment section. So let's compare some stats to start this out. Tampa Bay has won 36 games this season, but Florida's won 37. 17 losses for Tampa, only 14 for Florida, 3 overtime for Tampa Bay, 5 for Florida. That brings the point total to 75 for Tampa Bay and 79 for the Florida Panthers. Not something I would have predicted, that the Florida Panthers would come out on top of the Tampa Bay Lightning this season. Goals for 180 for Tampa Bay, 188 for the Florida Panthers. Pretty impressive. Goals against 145 for the Tampa Bay Lightning, which is very good. 151 for the Florida Panthers, which is also pretty good. Power play, 22.4% for the Tampa Bay Lightning, 20.5% for the Florida Panthers. And here's a pretty big discrepancy. Penalty kill, 84.2% for the Tampa Bay Lightning and only 79.8%. Not that 79.8% is terrible, but 84.2% is pretty good. I think that's actually in the top 10 or maybe even top 5 in the league for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So that's pretty impressive. There's a big gap there. So let's break it down by factors from each team, and then I'm going to give you my prediction. And I think I've got 3 here from every team, or from each team, sorry. Let's start off with Tampa Bay first. So Tampa is coming off a Stanley Cup win. We all know that. And is there a hangover factor? Is there... it's not that they did bad this season. The team is generally the same. I would have thought they would have been completely destructive on the rest of the league. But we had injuries to think about. We had Stamkos, we had Kucherov, and other things happen. So I understand that maybe they didn't have the season that they could have had with a full lineup. But I still wonder if they're on a bit of a hangover. So we have Stamkos and Kucherov coming back. That is the second factor. Well, not officially. I don't know if they have officially announced that they're going to play for Game 1, but it is suggested that they're going to be ready for this series. So that is going to be absolutely massive news for the Tampa Bay Lightning and bad news for the Florida Panthers. So let's see how they do. That's going to be a factor in this series. I can't really say anything about it because we don't know if they're at 100%, and if they are at 100%, they still gotta knock off the dust and see if they can jump right back into it. So we'll see. So hangover and those two players are two factors, and the third factor is depth. I'm not sure if there's a team out there that has more depth than the Tampa Bay Lightning. They can literally score from every line, and it would be exhausting trying to shut this team down, trying to shadow the players, and it's unbelievable how this team is built. I'm not a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, as you guys know, but I really appreciate just the structure of this team, how it's built, the entire roster. There's a lot of individual players on Tampa Bay that I absolutely love, and so I want to see them do well, but I don't want to see them win the cup again. So I'm going to be cheering for the Florida Panthers in this series. Sorry, Tampa fans, but I'd really like to see Florida actually have some success and go pretty far. So we'll see if that happens. But anyways, they've got depth, and Florida's got a lot to deal with. So speaking of Florida, let's transition to them. Look at some of their factors. So I've got goaltending here because this is an odd discussion to have, because I've seen a lot of people online talk about how Bobrovsky is like the best player. And I'm looking at those stats, and I'm looking at some of the games that I've watched this season, and I'm thinking, I don't know, guys. I'd probably go with Drieger because his stats are significantly better, almost a full goals against average better than Bobrovsky, and his save percentage is better. So I know it's not all about stats, okay? You don't have to tell me in the comments. I know it's not all about stats, but there's also a gut feeling you have to pay attention to, for me anyway. And my gut feeling going into this season was I don't know about Bobrovsky. He had a really bad first year in Florida, and I predicted him to actually miss the playoffs because I didn't think he was going to do that great. I was worried about his production this year, and I didn't want to rank them high or predict them high like I did the previous season. Then I looked like a fool at the end of last season. But I guess I look like a fool at the end of this season too because they did really well. But I don't think it's really to do with Bobrovsky. Drieger has been phenomenal. His goals against average is actually almost underneath 2, which is very good. So there's been a lot of talk that they don't know who they're going to start. And then I've even heard discussions that Bobrovsky might even be a healthy scratch because they got Knight. So I don't really know. There's a lot of controversy in net in Florida. And I think it's either going to be their downfall or this is how they're going to win the series, I think. Not that Vasilevsky is no slouch either. He's probably one of the best, if not the best goalie in the NHL right now. But still, it's when you get a goalie that goes on a bit of a run, like a really hot run, I can kind of see that happening in Florida for some reason out of Drieger. So you never know. I'm excited for it because I think it could happen, but I don't want to say that it's going to happen because I don't know. The next thing I have on here is physical play. So you have to be careful of Tampa's power play. So you need to be physical. And this is going to be a really physical series, I think. Florida's a big team. I think they want to intimidate Tampa. And Tampa can keep pace physicality-wise with Florida. But Florida is the more physical team, so I think they just need to take it to the next level, really make them suffer, finish every single check, but do it in a disciplined way. You can't be taking penalties against this team, and you can't really rely on your power play too much. I think Florida really needs to stick to 5-on-5 hockey. Concentrate on how to win with 5-on-5. Don't worry about special teams. Don't worry about your penalty kill. Don't worry about your power play. Focus winning the games on 5-on-5 and really concentrate on that. Don't kind of sit back and be opportunistic and wait for a power play and then try and strike. Get her done on 5-on-5. I think Florida really needs to focus on that. If they're special teams, they could get in a lot of trouble. They could sink them in this series if they're not careful. So 5-on-5 hockey is really important for Florida, in my opinion. My last factor here is Coach Q. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Quinnville and how his experience kind of elevates the Florida Panthers to maybe something that they have not seen any time in their history as a franchise. His resume is so impressive that it alone may drag them into the second round because he has the experience, he has the leadership to guide his players through adversity. He's been there before multiple times, and not just gone through the processes of the playoffs multiple times, but won a lot. So he knows how to win, and he's proven that this year with the lineup. He's come in and he's done some amazing things with this team. He's really kind of dialed in the chemistry this year versus last year. So Tampa can't look at Florida and be like, look, this team last year is basically the same team. Like that last year they sucked. This is just an anomaly. We're going to destroy them in this first round. You can't. I don't think so. I think this series is going to be very close. And you know what? I might be wrong, and that's why I make videos on YouTube and I'm not in front of a big screen or a TV and a TSN or Sportsnet. I'm just a random loser on YouTube. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to be an easy series. I think that it's going to go the distance. So my official prediction is that this series is going to go 7 games, and not only is it going to go 7 games, it's going to be one of the most interesting and memorable series in the past decade of hockey. That's how much faith I have in this series. I'm going to be watching this series like a hawk. But my actual prediction of who's going to win is the Florida Panthers. And there's a little bit of biased opinion here. I'm usually not biased. I try to be as objective as possible. So if I'm thinking just completely 100% logically and objectively, I'm likely going to choose Tampa in 7. But I want to will the Panthers into the second round. So I'm going to try and use my will here, and I'm going to predict Florida in 7 instead. Florida, I'm going to be cheering for you. I don't like repeat Stanley Cup winners. Like, if Florida won this year, I would not cheer for Florida next year. I really don't like repeat winners. I like to cheer for underdogs. And even though Florida did better this year than Tampa, I still kind of consider them to be the underdog, which is a weird scenario. But anyways, let me know what you think, guys, down below. Who's going to win this series and how many games? And are you excited for this one as much as I am? Because I'm real excited. Have a great day, guys. Hit the subscribe button down below for more playoff series talk, bracket prediction, jersey concepts, jersey unboxings, all kinds of good stuff on this channel. Would love to have you on board. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Adios.